Hello, my name is John Keel with the 12-Step Cure. Just a note, I am not affiliated with Alcoholics Anonymous. I am just bringing back the truth and sanctity of how I see the 12 steps worked for self-actualization, self-realization, or here in this, we call it a spiritual awakening, to realize one's true self, true potential, in how we practice spiritual principles within the 12 steps to allow us to be who we truly be. With this, I will explain a brief look at how one does realize their true selves and how we can make the world a better place. Here are the 12 steps. Now, I have inverted them so that we can look and possibly see how we climb the stairway to heaven, or Jacob's ladder, or as depicted in Jack and the Beanstalk, where we save the woman or the girl of intuition. We come to intuitively know what used to baffle us. So, with this inversion, we could see how this, the Asclepius, or they call it the Tree of Life, that we come up out of our old state of being, the manipulating, the feeding off of the bread of shame, our lower state of being, and then when we can share from the heart, we can come up and giving. This is a true symbol of, as we see on our ambulances, true care. Care is the operative word, caring for others. So with that, we can take a look at these steps, and real briefly, we admitted we were powerless over the sensations, the temporary sensations that, that's what they are, temporary sensations where we pretended. Here, that's a personal choice, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of. Hopefully that's not another human power. Step 4 is where the action. We made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Let's not get that turned around. We build a foundation in step 4 through, maybe the first one is through hope. That's all. Maybe that's all we could muster up in our darkest state. But as we practice spiritual principles that are laid at our feet, that as we consciously practice these, that honesty, to thine own self be true, and we consciously practice these. I added on forgiveness. But here's a little more for those who wish. And here's the logo of the 12-Step Cure, formerly known as the Engine Room. But when we consciously practice these in our lives, we build our foundation. We build our warehouse, where we clean house as we, in our moral inventory, where the liabilities are old skin, as depicted earlier in that Star of Life, where the snake coming up sheds its old skin. We practice, we strive for the being humble and getting out of the old self in giving what is within us. So that's one look. We could stay on the beam, staying above the beam, and not falling down below. So with that, we can climb up, and we can look at step 5. I know it's a little small there, but it says admitted to God as he already knows, to ourselves, to thine own self be true, and to the other human being. The other human being may be the one that we did that wrongs to, our family, etc., or the clerks that we stole from, that the exact nature, the nature being the spiritual wrongs that we have done. And then we're entirely ready to have that old skin, the shedding removed. And then as we keep on practicing these spiritual principles in all our affairs, we very readily, here's where we make direct amends to the other human being. And then in step 10, we continue to take personal inventory. In step 4, moral good inventory. Keep on knowing what's good, then how we can uplift, encourage, and empower others, giving ourselves and where we expect nothing in return, as in St. Francis' prayer. And when we were wrong, as in step 5, we promptly admitted it. Exact nature, spiritual wrongs. Then we can come up in higher consciousness, and having had a spiritual awakening as the result of this conscious practice of these spiritual principles within these steps, we tried to carry the message to all other human beings and to practice these principles in all our affairs. And then we can come up in self-actualization as depicted here in Maslow's hierarchy, a very simple look at psychological self-development, character development to realize one's true potential. And so with that, I hope that others gain a greater understanding of how we can all come together and bring back the truth and sanctity of the 12 steps. Thank you.